My name is Esther C, and I am a representative of Love in the Community. It's an honor for me today to meet somebody who's really inspired me through his work and through his love for people. The conversation we're going to have today is going to be 90% in Creole. And I'm just going to ask him a couple questions in English so you guys can know who is he in Naples, what his work is all about. And after that, I'm going to transition to Creole because the main goal is introduce him to the Haitian community in Naples. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Esther.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely, always.
I was hoping to do that a long time ago, and I didn't have the chance. But finally, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Chris Surber. I am the pastor at First Congregational Church on Immokalee Road here in Naples. We've been here almost exactly 3 years. And I've served churches before that in the Detroit area, in Virginia twice, in Illinois, and in Florida a long time before that, and then one other time in Michigan. So I pastored churches all over the place. And while living in Suffolk, Virginia, in 2013, my wife Christina went on a mission trip to Haiti and came back and insisted that I go. And I frankly didn't want to go. And I said, okay, I'll go once. And I went, and God had already broken her heart for Haiti, and God just crushed my heart for Haiti. So we incorporated a ministry called Supply and Multiply. You can visit it online, supplyandmultiply.com or .org. And we incorporated that ministry, started taking mission teams, and then we lived there in Moui, Haiti for 1 year and learned the language, and God gave us a bunch of friendships and founded a bunch of ministries. And so after 2015, we moved back. I've been pastoring churches and taking hundreds and hundreds of people to Haiti on mission teams to Moui. And we've probably taken and hosted more than 1,000, somewhere around 1,000 people to Haiti. And now, of course, circumstances are difficult. So I haven't been in Haiti in a little while, but we still have our ministries. I just today was on the phone with our assistant director, coordinating some things and talking to our director, who now is here in America with us. So that ministry continues, and then we pastor, and I write, and I'm active in teaching and do a lot of different things.
On behalf of all Haitian people, I just want to say thank you. I really, really love I love the fact that you love people and you love your community. And every time I ask you for something, let's do this, you always willing to do that. I just love it because I'm all about doing things in the community.
Absolutely.
What are your service hours?
My service, what? Oh, at the church? Oh, so every Sunday, 10 a.m. And then we do other projects and different things. We just had we had Santa in here the other night reading the birth story of Jesus to some kids. And I teach karate on Tuesdays, and I use that as a way to connect with families and kids. But then I always bring it back to spiritual warfare. So we do a lot of different. So yeah, Sunday mornings at 10, people can come here. 6630 Immokalee Road.
I realize you have a banner out there for food. Can you please tell us about it?
Yeah, so the last Tuesday of every month, we partner with the Harry Chapin Food Bank to distribute food to anyone at no cost who would, and really minimal registration. We just want to keep track of how many people came. So anybody can come. It's super easy. The last Tuesday of every month from 4:30 to 6:30, we're distributing food. And then we sometimes do, like we did, a Thanksgiving basket for those who signed up, and then we're doing a Christmas meal box for those who sign up, who've already signed up. And so, yeah, the last Tuesday of every month, they can come in and walk right through the fellowship hall and pick some things out. We have food from Harry Chapin. Also, we're blessed to receive bread and a lot of the to-go meals that we get from Seed to Table. And then also bread from Publix, and then other things occasionally we could come through.
I realized also on Sunday, last Sunday, I had a chance to be here at church. After Sunday, after church, you guys come together and eat. That was lovely. Can you please tell us?
Yeah, so every Sunday we have, after the church service, which lasts normally from 10 to about 11, we have fellowship time in the fellowship hall, and we're often giving out bread there too, because we get so much bread from Seat to Table and from Publix. And then a lot of folks also come for our Spanish service that happens a couple of hours later. So Pastor Miguel Cruz leads a Spanish congregation. They say they meet at 12:30, but they I don't know, they usually start a little later, but that's where they start to gather. And so some of them, you see a lot of them coming through for fellowship too, just like, you know, the spirit of our church, like we did on Thanksgiving, where your Pastor Tanis's church and they came, the Pastor Cruz's church, and we all worshiped together, and then we all had a meal together. And we're trying to bring people together. I mean, our congregation alone can have as many as 7 or 8 different nationalities on a given Sunday, and the English speaking service, and then Pastor Cruz has another 7 or 8, and then, you know, we're all the time seeing the sort of the nature of the kingdom, what it looks like expressed here. So we love that.
I also had a chance to be at the multicultural service that you do prior Thanksgiving. It was wonderful, and I enjoyed the fact that you put the same song in 3 different languages. It was beautiful.
It's not, you know, it's a lot of work. It's like, you know, tough to follow for some people, but everyone enjoys it, because even if they can't follow the words, they know the music, and everybody just, it's like a lot of my church members said afterwards, it was just a great time of fellowship. That's what they liked about it. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have some things an big event coming up during this
You know,
month?
just Christmas Eve. We have Christmas Eve service on, like we normally do, because Christmas Eve is on a Sunday this year. So we have Sunday morning service. We're going to have a bunch of dancers doing beautiful liturgical dance from my daughter and a bunch of her friends who are all semi-professional dancers. And then we'll have a candlelight service for Christmas Eve at 5 o'clock. I like to do them at midnight, but I have a lot of older church members who don't like to drive out at midnight. So we'll have a candlelight Christmas Eve service at 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
Okay. Now, can you please remind the public that if they want to stop by for service, what time again?
10 o'clock every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. And everybody is welcome to be here, for sure.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question, but I think I should ask you in Creole.
Okay.
Because I kind of wanna let people know that you adopt a Haitian girl as your daughter. Can you tell us about it too?
Yeah, you want me to tell you in Creole?
It doesn't matter, because we're gonna talk Creole too.
Okay.
But
So I'll do it in English first. So when I went to Haiti, reluctantly, largely, when I went there, you know, Christina had gone already, and the reason that I was willing to go, really, the thing that really grabbed a hold of me is when she came back from Haiti the first time. She'd gone with a few women from another church that we knew. And when she came back and I said, "How was it?" And she started to cry and tell me about a bunch of kids that we had to help, because these were kids in a poor community in Maui called Bolise, and how they were sleeping on the floor and they didn't have food. And so when I went to Haiti in 2013, the first one of these kids I met, her name's Carmely, and I've since adopted her. And I met her, and Christina had told me the last day she left that this girl Carmely was always asking her for water. She was always thirsty. And I've since learned that, you know, of course, they didn't have clean water in that community. Her great aunt that she lived with, that she called grandmother, they used to bathe used to, bathe with dirty water, and her grandma had convinced her that then you could drink that water because it had soap in it, because then maybe it was less likely to have parasites and be dirty. They were so poor. And so when I met her, Christina said she was, the last day she saw her, she was asking her for water. And, lo, which, is hard for America. That's one hard word for a lot of Americans to learn how to say. And then when I met her, the first thing she did is say "Glo," and ask me for water. And so I took off my Camelback, this backpack that I had that, had ice cold water. I had frozen it in the missionary's house the night before, and it was perfectly clean water. And I poured it all out into a cup. I kept asking her for a cup, and then finally I figured out good. And so she got me the cup. So I filled it up, and she drank every last drop. And then I sent her over where Christina was doing like a Bible lesson with all these kids. And I just started weeping. And, I'm a 10-foot tall bulletproof Marine. Like I'm supposed to be tough, can handle whatever. Yeah. And I just started weeping because I thought that was 3 months ago. And she's still looking for clean water. And anyway, I think what I believe God did, Haiti was shocking to me. It was shocking to me. When I came there, that's 2013. When you left Port-au-Prince, there was still a lot of rubble and people living in tent cities from the earthquake. It was still and Haiti was poor before that. And so, but it was a shock to me. I grew up poor by American standards, but I had never seen some of the things I saw there. And so I would have, if I had gone and God didn't give me a love for Carmelie, I don't think I would have went back. I think that he sort of used a love for her to keep me in Haiti.
That's our God. Okay.
Yeah, he likes to mess with me
How
a lot.
old is she now?
So she's 19.
Okay.
Carmelie has cognitive impairments, and so she's in a special education, or now they call it exceptional education program, and she's doing like vocational stuff. She sometimes she's at 7-Eleven or Publix, working.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to help develop some kind of job skills.
This
for her.
is America.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I remember what do you think about the people who come from Haiti or elsewhere? Because I watched your video talking about the immigrant, what the Bible said about immigrants.
Yeah, so all through the Old and New Testament, as far as the church is concerned, as far as Christians should think, we're commanded and to have a love for strangers, to that it's right at the center of the kingdom of God, of the gospel message itself, is that there are no longer any strangers, right? That that the human race for whom Jesus died is all one family. That we're not scattered strangers. We're one in Christ. And so we are called to practice a kind of radical hospitality, a kind of radical welcome. So that's the spiritual side, right? I'm not very concerned with the political side, because I think people use issues like this to try to drive wedges between people. I think that's the majority political game, and it's a game, I think. So I'm not so concerned with that, although I'm not blind to those realities either. But the thing that I think God's heart for the refugee is plain in the scripture, and it should be apparent in the way Christians live. And also, there seems to be this kind of weird game happening right now. There was a guy a Ukrainian man, wrote an article for a nearby newspaper recently, and he heard, I don't know how, but he heard about things we were doing and asked me if he could quote me for it. And what I said to him on that issue was, there's a big difference between let's say at the southern border in Mexico, where maybe there's just, tons of people just pouring through, Okay, that's a real thing, and we should still care about those people. I get it. There might be some kind of, bad person with bad intentions coming in with them, but that's a separate issue completely from the humanitarian parole that's coming from Cuba, Venezuela, and Haiti, and maybe one other country that's involved in that. I guess Ukraine. And so, at any rate, those people who've come here have come here 100% legally and have an interest to work and build their lives. And they've been vetted. They had to have an American citizen sponsor them. There's all kinds of process. So my point with that saying simply, we should be cautious not to let our minds be captured by the politics of a thing. All the time, I pay attention when I'm walking around places. And around here, I watch, because anytime I see someone I think is Haitian, I start to speak Creole with them.
But it's funny because I had a 8:15 appointment today at Panera Bread, and I saw a lady, and I was talking to her, and I showed her your picture. He said, "Oh, this guy, I know him. He speaks Creole." Just now.
That's funny. Everywhere I go. Okay, and the other day, I was at one of the Walmarts. I was just doing it this morning. I was just talking to some people from OCAP, from Cap Haitian. And so the other day, I was at a Walmart, and I was speaking Creole with this guy who has almost no English. And I was speaking Creole. And then I said, okay, passe bonjour, and I left, right? I walked away to buy something, to get some water or something. And I turned around, and I saw this woman try to talk to him, this American woman. So she was trying to ask him where something was, and he didn't have the language for it. He was trying, but he was struggling. So I went over and I helped, and I translated it for him. And okay, but when I first looked at her, before I did that, she was like, oh, like and I understand she was frustrated. She's trying to get help. I understand that. But when I went over and started to translate for her, then she smiled, right? So there was a little bit of a human bridge that was built.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what I think needs to happen, a lot of Americans, and I understand it, they get very frustrated when we welcome all these people in, and then they're not learning the language. They're trying. I get it, but instead of rolling our eyes at them or saying, "Oh, there's too many immigrants," or whatever, which not everybody does, but a fair amount of people do. Instead of doing that, say, "Oh, how can I be a part of solving this?" Welcoming them, and one, because if you're a Christian, the Bible tells you to do it, and the love of God compels you to do it. But even if you're not a Christian, it's better for your community if the refugee, the immigrant, the person from another country, if they're here, it's better for your community if you help them to integrate, if you help to assimilate them. So the thing, I hear it. I hear people talking about it, the immigration crisis, all this. But mostly what I hear are people talking ugly about it. But I need to find more people that want to do something to help, to make a difference. If you took just a little part of that negative energy to be frustrated with say the guy who's working for a company cutting your grass, and you want to talk to him but you can't, and not to mention that just with a little bit of effort, you could open up Google Translate and have a conversation. I do it all the time because my Spanish is weak. If you just put a little bit of that, what we need, I think, are churches, the Christians who comprise those churches, local organizations, need to recognize that that the real crisis is a human crisis. It's a one-on-one, life on life.
Yes.
Like if I saw you from across the street and I had a preconceived idea that, I don't trust, I heard bad things about Haiti, I don't trust Haitian people, and I don't ever try to talk to you, okay, then my world stays small. But if I have just an ounce of courage to just talk to somebody, then all of a sudden I might find, now you might turn out to not be a very nice person, you told me to go away, fine, big deal. Well, how much did I lose for that little risk? But more likely, I'm going to find that I get to know you, I learn from you, and all of a sudden my world gets bigger, And so I wish that more people would think Think about it.
Remember, we have to transition in Creole because the goal is letting the Haitian community in Naples to know who you are. But before I do so, I wanna have at least 2 minutes to talk about the 7
Okay.
people that you brought to the Biden program,
Yeah,
which
so
is I'm very happy about that.
yeah, so we brought a family here. It's Gary and Chairman and their 5 kids. And so Gary is the director of Supply and Multiply, and in Haiti. So he was. I met him when I lived in Haiti, and he was like, you know, one of the poorest people I ever met. He was a poor fisherman, and through a doctor friend, he connected us, and then Gary started to work for me as like a gardener and a daytime security guard, right? Which is kind of funny because he's so much smaller than I am. And but then we became brothers going through a bunch of hardships together, and then early this year, through that humanitarian parole program, we were able to bring him here and his 5 kids and his wife, along with 4 now, maybe 5, I guess 5 young Haitian men who are friends of ours, people who translated for us in Haiti and people that we knew. We've also placed them with families connected to Supply and Multiply.
Wow.
And so they're all thriving. Gary, I'm still looking for full-time work for him. His English is coming slow, but he's working every day this month and through you know, so he's doing well.
Okay.
We're building it up.
All right. Well, that's all for the information. Now I'm gonna ask him question about the same thing in Creole because it's important for the Haitian community and around the world to know who he is. M'a dit bonsoir à toute communauté haïtienne qui dans Naples ou bien qui n'importe l'autre côté. C'est un plaisir pour moi aujourd'hui pour me faire parler ça ensemble avec lui parce que je vraiment apprécié que le travail l'a fait ni dans Naples ni dans Haïti. Donc pasteur besoin d'introduire encore avec la communauté haïtienne.
OK, bon bagay. Bonsoir tout le monde haïtien qui vit dans Naples avec communauté ça. Moi vraiment content pour parler avec Esther aujourd'hui pour parler sur tout bagay libre parler. Oui.
OK. Premier Samuel commencer au programme Biden, moi au courant que rentré 7 personnes.
Oui.
Et moi ouais me parler avec eux et me vraiment apprécier ça et me besoin connaître tout qui travaille qu'on fait à Haïti lui-même, qui côté organisation qui sont fait pour Haïti.
Vous connaissez dans l'année 2013, moi commencé à Haïti après quelques temps. Moi t'ai apprendre, moi besoin de parler créole, moi besoin de gagner plus amis. Si vous capable de travailler dans Haïti, vous pas qu'à faire ça pour qu'on oui. Si vous besoin de prêcher, ou besoin de prêcher en créole. Puis bon, passer anglais avec un traducteur. Quelquefois, un traducteur, il n'est pas dit même. Ou bien, il n'est pas qu'à prêcher faux. Moi, ça c'est la raison moi je connais moi besoin de parler créole. Nous sommes allés pour vivre dans Maui. Nous sommes vivre pour une année dans Maui. Moi, j'ai fait un peu d'amis. Nous construisons la caille pour Grand Monde, qui nous relève caille Maté 25. Nous supportons un peu Grand Monde dans la caille ça. Et dans quelques zones, nous aidons avec manger, nous aidons avec tout bagage médical, tout autre bagage au besoin. Tant que si on Grand Monde dormi à terre, nous jouons cabane pour lui. Si les pas yon bagay pour couvrir les la pluie vini. Les la pluie vini, nous joignons une place pour lui. Nous mettons un petit monde à l'école, nous gagnons un programme parce que yo te gagnons sous dans Maui qui t'est écrasé après un cyclone t'est venu quelques années passées. Nous t'ai essayé pour ranger sous, mais les pas travaillent bien, les t'est écrasé encore. Nous gagnons quelques pompes. Chaque matin, nous pompons de l'eau pour tout jardin dans une zone. Nous faisons un peu de travail. Nous avons un peu l'autre travail. Nous louons caille pour quelques monde. Nous t'es en pile réfugié parce que vous connaissez après tout problème qui a commencé dans Haïti. Yo bataille dans le monde près moi, il y a quelques monde qui réfugiés parce que quelques bandits sont venus pour faire marier une fille mourir. Il était besoin d'une place pour vivre. Nous t'es joint lui, il était dormi beau plage parce que les pas de une place. Nous avons commencé le programme réfugié quelques années passées parce que Haïti a un peu de danger, un peu de problème. Qui l'autre bagaille? Nous sommes passés en Haïti avec un pile équipe pour 10 années. Moi, je pense que nous passons dans Moui avec plus passer 1000 personnes dans un pile équipe. Nous faisons un pile travail. Nous travaillons avec l'église, nous faisons un pile évangélisation, nous distribuons un pile Bible. Nous fixons attention nous dans Moui parce que tous les amis sont dans Moui. Les mois d'hier, moi, j'ai 10 années dans Haïti. Yo proud, pose-moi pile question. Est-ce que moi te voyons bagaille au cap? Non. Moi connais aéroport, moi connais mode. Moi connais quelques Gonaïve, Saint-Marc.
Oui.
Seulement. Mais moi pas venu dans Haïti pour plaisir longtemps. Moi venu pour travail. Seulement moi connais mode.
OK. Ça qui était force qui était pour obligation pour t'entrer Gary à tout le monde.
Oh oui, pour qui ça moi te fait ça? Moi connais tout bagaille vraiment difficile dans Haïti kounya. Tout temps yo essayé pour travailler, pour marcher, pour aller dans le marché, pour acheter yon zaboka, pour faire yon petit bagaille. Difficile pour faire ça. Yo gen bandi dans Moui. Nous connaissons un pile monde qui a fait mal. Là, nous t'attendons pour gagner un programme Biden. Même fois, madame, vous t'attendez, vous avez ça? Même fois. Les fait application. Même fois. Même moment. Parce que vous connaissez Gary, c'est framework. Quelle fois moi dis Gary, vous connaissez, moi j'ai une famille génétique. Mais bon Dieu, te mettez nous ensemble. Les moi, te vivre dans Haïti, moi, te passé dans quelques mauvais moments. Vous connaissez, moi, pas joindre Gary pour protéger moi, mais ou bien supporter moi. Moi, seulement, te pensé que c'est un monde qui travaille pour moi, capable d'aider moi, mais tout le temps, moi, passé dans un problème, moi, capable de Gary. Tout le temps. Les pas gros nègres, mais ils connaissent tout le monde. Réputation, te protéger moi quelquefois. Souvent. Ils ont en plus amis. Dagobert, c'est un monde dans moi. Ils sont bons amis, moi, des tontons, moi. Quelquefois, les fâchés parce que moi, trop occupé, moi, pas parler avec lui souvent. Parce que les Haïtiens. Les préférés, c'est moi, réalité. Chaque matin, pour les connaître, moi, besoin de faire ça. Vous connaissez, il y a un pizza. Mais Gary et Dago, ils font. Nous te fait ça pour lui parce que les femmes. Il y a madame, il y a 5 timons. Vous connaissez, il n'y a pas de possibilité. Si vous êtes en Haïti, qui possibilité vous avez?
Mais il y a des gens qui doivent dire, il n'y a pas de problème. Mais puis ça a un problème.
Bon Dieu, te mettez ça dans le quai, moi. Seulement. Vous connaissez, moi, dis Gary, quelquefois, les mois fatigués. Parce que tant que matin, moi, j'ai besoin d'aller pour aider avec ma machine. Les mois fatigués avec lui, moi, dis, oh, puis bon, moi, pas de temps de bon Dieu. Les te mettre dans la vie, moi. Il dit, oui, puis bon. Nous jouons en pile.
Il y a moi ça. Mon cas, l'eau pas la gare comme si moi, l'amour en cœur pour lui. Il y a ma suivre nous, moi, l'amour en cœur pour lui. Et puis, m'a apprécié tout sacrifice qu'on fait. Vous mettez au non ou même ou pas mettez dans appartement mais c'est dans caille pour chercher travail pour manger pour mener petit moun yo l'école à faire tout ça et puis c'est supposé faire pasteur m'pas cacher de ça moi vraiment apprécier ça. Vraiment apprécier ça si
vous connaissez ça yo besoin connaître tout. Moi fais un pile travail mais famille moi gagne une tête probablement famille moi gagne un quai. Li c'est madame moi Christina. Vous connaissez li toujours li travail DM parce que li fait un petit travail. Mais parce que moi c'est pasteur, moi parler, moi travaille tout. Moi j'ai même pas seulement bouche. Mais moi toujours travaille. Mais yo ouais ça. Mais vous connaissez madame moi avec moi nous fait tout bagay ensemble.
Okay.
Si moi pas gen li, moi pas dans les Haïti.
Oh.
Si moi pas gen li, moi pense moi te péri Haïti après quelque temps parce que moi commence fatigué en pile. Vous connaissez ça c'est yon fois. Li bon, li plus bon réponse. Yon fois, les gens là pour moi en Haïti, ok? Moi te passé dans un mauvais moment. Moi te dans un accident dans un route. Mais pas faute moi, mais vous connaissez? En pile monde, moi te besoin de payer pour un pile bagay parce que il s'est écrasé en pile bagay. C'est mauvais, il était mauvais moment. Moi pas gagner assez l'argent, il fait moi stressé en pile, tête moi chargé. Gary était venu pour parler avec moi, il était dit pasteur. Moi, connais un grand pile problème. Ou paye pour travailler chaque mois. Moi, ça, moi, travaille pour vous gratis.
Oh.
Mais, vous connaissez ça, moi, te dit? Dans le moment, ça, moi, te dit, non, moi, pas payer ou double. Kounya, moi, pas get yon good dans la poche. Moi, pas joindre. Vous connaissez? Dans le même jour, nous, t'ai commencé à parler. Moi, bon, j'étais bam, j'ai spirituel, moi. Please force pour way dans Kelly. Nous avons commencé à parler du même âge. Vous connaissez, nous même âge. Nous avons le même numéro de team. Premier madame Marali, il était mort quelques années passées. Avec madame moi, nous, Gary avec moi-même, nous avons le même problème avec eux. Nous avons même, presque même la vie. Moi, je te dis une fois. Vous connaissez si bon Dieu était décidé pour faire ça? Ou moi ou même. Mais nous même monde.
Okay.
Ça c'est un vraiment moment fort pour moi. Parce que moi, je connais bon Dieu, tu parlé avec moi sur ça. Moi, capable d'entendre ça dans le moi. Ça c'est raison. Vous connaissez, moi fatigué quelquefois.
Yeah.
Oui, mais vous connaissez ça, moi, t'es marine. Moi, soldat pour 10 années. Moi, connais yon bagay dans tête moi, bon Dieu capable d'utiliser. Parce que si moi j'ai mission, moi fais mission. Si moi mourir, moi mourir. Moi ouais bon Dieu, vous connaissez? Plus rapide, pas de problème. Moi paye tout le problème dans mon an plus rapide, pas de problème.
Ok. Nous allons c'est n'a fini avec petit parler ça, but nous c'est pas nous gain moi faut nous gain pour nous travailler plus dans la communauté hein parce que nous t'ai parlé de faire computer class là avant nous inviter avant nous mettre le problème nous avons travailler sur ça et puis en façon pour nous inviter tout le monde dans la communauté qui pas connaît fait comment utiliser un computer pour nous aider. Donc moi j'aime ça en pile. Moi-même, je suis un qui toujours aime tout ça qu'a fait dans la communauté pour aider parce que nous ne pas dans la communauté et puis pour nous pas rien.
Oui.
Donc, pas qu'à une conversation trop longue pour nous pas fatiguer. Donc, we wanna thank you.
Okay.
We really appreciate what you're doing in the community, and we're gonna work more and hard to bring whatever we can because Pastor and I we're gonna work together. We're gonna see how we can help the community learning computer, to manage a computer, to know how to create an email, look for a job, things like that. So we will inform you when everything is settled down for you guys to come in and take that opportunity. We will take. Pastor, would you like to say another?
No, mais en pile. Vous connaissez ensemble n'avance.
Yeah. Together we will make a difference. We thank you guys, and please share the conversation. And if you want to help us out, feel free to do so. Loving the Community is here to do whatever we can, and we thank God for Pastor Chris. His heart is, to me, his heart is a goal, And I thank God for that. And we will work, we will make things happen in the community. Thank you very much. Don't forget, if you like to visit his church, it's Sunday at 10.
Sunday at 10, 6630 Immokalee Road, right there near Target.
And then,
just a little east of Target.
And then for food?
Yeah, the last Tuesday of every month from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bom dia, Beninu.
Bom dia, menino. Bye.